What's up, everyone? Crypto trader Mitch, and it is Ethereum, Bitcoin, and EOS. Oh my, what is going on? We got a chart of Ethereum on the screen. This thing is still in beast mode. Um, Prior videos, we talked about this. This was the consolidation during the Christmas holidays when everything else is pulling back. Ethereum was acting strong. We've talked about that. So when the market bounced, expect a rally. Gotta be honest with you, this is more than I even expected. So again, talked about it before. Jumped in a trade around 750, had taken some profits on that first spike through 1,000, and it didn't even hesitate. I mean, let me zoom in a little bit. You know, right here, this candle here, little doji action and decision. Maybe it'll pull back after peaking through 1,000. Nope, ripped. And you see here we got a pullback, reversal candle. That's that big upper wick. But anyway, my point is, I always talk about how you don't want to chase. And it's tough when something's ripping to buy into it without chasing. But with Ethereum, we did get an opportunity. So even after this crazy move, you see we got this reversal candle pullback, and then it basically kind of like double bottomed. I mean, you see the wick on this down candle was at 1084 basically, and then we got here 1089. So if you were really that hell bent on getting into Ethereum, after this move, this was the opportunity, and then you have a defined, clear stop. This low here of essentially 1084, probably 1083 would be better, and then you get in, and your downside risk is what is that? 45, 55, like $60, and then your upside is at least you're looking at around 1300, the prior high it just made, or obviously you're holding for new highs. So either way, good risk reward, and like I always say, you want at least 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. So just want to take a look at Ethereum because we have different action going on in different coins now. It's not like all uniform where everything's just going up. So Ethereum, like I said, beast mode, just going. So now I want to take a look at Bitcoin, and more so I want to talk about Bitcoin and the long-term moving average. So these lines, if you've watched my videos, they've been here forever. So it's luckily so far Bitcoin's bouncing a little bit. I talked about this the other day where we needed to maintain this prior low. If we went under 12.8, then that would be essentially negative price action. You want to make higher highs and higher lows. So we made a higher high from this previous high, then we made this high, and now looks like we're making a higher low, barely, but if it happens, it happens. So I'd like to see a push at least to this 15.2, 15.3 support resistance area that we've been fighting with and playing off of for quite some time. But what I really want to talk about with Bitcoin is this blue line here. This is a 200-day moving average. The 200-day moving average is usually considered kind of like the long-term trend indicator for any kind of investment, like stocks, anything essentially that you trade. So if you look at this, you can look back to 2017, Bitcoin, bounced along it, boom, aggressive appreciation, kind of big divergence away, pull back in, what is this? July, mid-July, so basically last summer, 2017, and then we got first rally, a little pullback, and then, off we go. This was an aggressive uptrend to begin with, and then we went, like I said, parabolic, and now we've since, had some pullbacks. So this puts things into perspective. Look at this aggressive 200-day moving average. I mean, that's quite the trend. And look how far away Bitcoin still is from it. And look at that gap, compared to other times. I mean, this is one of the biggest outside of, the top near 20K. We still have one of the biggest gaps. So that's not to say that we need to get back down to the 200 moving average, but this divergence is going to shrink. It's just going to happen. I mean, same as it did when you saw the gap here, shrank, gap here, shrank. It didn't get all the way to it, but it cut that gap in, half at least, if not more. So if Bitcoin was just to consolidate here for a couple months even and let this average continue to come up, that would still be positive price action on Bitcoin. And I know everyone will think, oh, Bitcoin's dead. It hasn't done anything in 2-3 months. Well, guess what? You're wrong. Because all it's doing is essentially digesting this move. This is why I prefer orderly moves like this and then we keep trending, because in the end, this trend is probably going to land us right where we'll end up being 3 or 4 months from now. So again, seeing a move down, to 10K and testing 10K is definitely still on the table, and I welcome it, because if we crack under 10K, I'm buying. So, and like I always say, I'm just showing you guys how I read charts and what I do. You got to make your own decisions. My goals are not the same as yours. My risk tolerance isn't the same as yours. So this is just information. This is not, any recommendation or anything. So basically, I would like to see Bitcoin obviously go up, but if it just consolidates, I would be happy with that as this moving average catches up. And then even maybe this trend line comes into play, and that would really take us around like that 10K area just even a couple months from now. So just wrap your head around that. We could pull down to 10K over the next 2 3 months and still be bullish. Like Bitcoin would still be in a aggressive uptrend. I know it won't feel like it, but that's what it is. So anyway, moving on. I want to talk about EOS, because EOS is just bananas right now. Look at this thing. That's not the one I want. So, I've talked about this a handful of times before. I've been in it for a few months now at least. I luckily got in at some low prices, and we got this recent breakout, and you see this big spike. I'm interested to see how this plays out now, because we've seen this a lot of times where you get this parabolic move, and then you get this big upper wick, and it ends up being a blow off top, and then we end up either pulling back, consolidating at best, or pulling back over the coming days. I mean, after this move, a pullback could reasonably go down to 1150, and that would still not be negative. That would be the next level of possible support on the daily chart at least. So we'll see how this plays out. It might keep going because EOS just announced some big news last night. Essentially, people got clarity on how the EOS blockchain is going to be used, and how essentially ICOs will be done. And it's not even really going to be ICOs. It's going to more so be airdrops. And essentially, if you own EOS tokens, you essentially get a one-to-one on those coins that are coming out for whatever business platform or whatever that's going to use the EOS blockchain and the EOS network. So I'm not going to get into all that now, because honestly, it's a good amount of information. Just know that essentially owning EOS gives you more so almost like a percentage ownership in everything, as opposed to just owning the token. But at the same time, these tokens need to get registered before June, when everything goes live. So like I said, there's a bunch of stuff going on. I'm still trying to figure it out myself a little bit. But in the meantime, I actually took off a little bit of EOS. I was lucky enough to add some about a week ago. I just randomly added some, and I luckily got it down in this wick. So it was at like 925 or like 915. I just added coins to my core position. So last night, after it peaked through 18, and then I kind of looked like it was turning around, I ended up selling out at around 1720. I sold the most of the additional coins I had added, because bottom line is I added those coins, and sometimes you just gotta take the trade on some stuff. I still have my core position, so. But yeah, a lot of stuff going on in EOS. It's looking pretty positive in terms of what they're trying to do, in terms of the ecosystem they're trying to create. So I'm going to continue digging into that and learn a little more about it. But I just wanted to show you that chart. I mean, and again, this thing, look, it's gone freaking nuts. We had move up, consolidation, move up, consolidation, spike, pulled back, consolidation, consolidation, and then boom, and then we go parabolic. Again, this just pulls it away from everything and is super aggressive. You got maybe, this line originally was working, but then we didn't pull back. So essentially, no. I wonder if we got an uptrend if I do this. No, not really. Although this could become, eventually the trend line that it bounces back to. So I look for possible trend lines, and then essentially you need enough points to confirm that. So if we see a pullback at some point and it ends up coming to this line, then that would confirm it, because you got 1, 2, 3, boom, confirmation. So that'd be interesting to see if this turns into an ascending channel or an uptrend. So I'm just gonna have a little more fun here and try this. So, I mean, who knows? That could become the channel. We don't know. That's just a guess. We'll see if it works out. I prefer it doesn't because that means we'll be going even higher. So we'll see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if EOS tries to make a run at 20 because the bottom line is when they get these close to those round numbers, I mean, we got to 18 and change. So maybe it'll leg up again before consolidating or pulling back. Um, maybe it'll be like Ethereum, quick little pullback and then off to the races again. So this basically vertical line doesn't have to end. Anyway, I'm going to call it that. This video is a little longer than most. I was rambling a little bit, but until the next one, Crypto Trader Mitch, I'm out. Hey guys, just one more quick note. This is the cryptocurrency course I created under my Scaredy Cat Guide brand, and this essentially shows you how to do everything I'm doing in these videos. You'll see listed on the slide the 3 videos and what we cover. So support and resistance, candlestick patterns, multiple time frame analysis. Really, that is all you need to actively invest or even actively trade cryptocurrency. So I'll put a link in the video notes to that. You are welcome to check it out. All right, see you soon.